Let's move to principle number 2. The cost of something is what you give up to get it. We already talk about that all the time. When we make a decision, we're facing trade-offs. Also, when we're making decisions, we all the time need to compare the cost and the benefit of our alternative actions. And in a lot of cases, the cost and the benefits, it's actually easy to calculate, but in most of the cases, the cost and the benefit of your decision is not that obvious. Let's take an example. When you decided to come to college this semester, my question is going to be, what is the cost of you going to college? And some of you are going to say, well, this is the cost of my tuition, this is the cost of the books, the cost of boarding and meals that I need to buy. And to a certain extent, it's going to be correct. The main thing that we actually ignore in the calculation of any student going to college is the value of students' time. So remember, if we're talking about boarding and meals when you're going to college as the part of your cost, remember, it doesn't matter where you actually, what your circumstances are, you do need to have shelter, isn't it? Yes, probably the higher cost of your dorms or the apartment that you rent near college, that have to be taken into consideration, but you all the time need to have, some kind of shelter. The same about meals. You actually need to buy food, even if you don't go to college, but if you are probably pay higher cost for the food that you buy near campus, that's have to be taken into consideration. But one thing that we need to talk about here is the value of your time. So some of you probably, in order to come to college this semester, you probably gave up certain amount of hours at work, or some of you actually were working all summer full-time 40 hours a week, and in order for you to come to college, you actually stopped working. And these foregone wages that you actually gave up in order to come to college, it's going to be the opportunity cost of you going to college. So, and the opportunity cost of the item is what you give up to obtain the item. So just think about it. When you decided to come to college, what did you give up? You give up your wages, isn't it? Okay, what are you going to obtain? You actually going to obtain your education. So therefore, once again, the cost of you going to college is going to be not only your tuition, books, and increase price of your housing, but also the value of your time or giving up wages that you actually had to give up in order to come to college. So I'll give you another example. Let's suppose, he's saying, well, if you're going to the movie, okay, so the cost of you going to the movie is going to be not only the price of the movie ticket and the popcorn and probably Coca-Cola that you bought, but also the value of your time. So instead of going to the movie, you probably could have gone to work and work for a few hours, and whatever that value of your time or whatever money you're actually earning by going to work, that also going to be included or should be included in the cost of you going to movie. Let's suppose I'm going to actually change this a little bit. So let's suppose your mom and dad, they're calling you and they're saying, hey honey, let's go to the movie. We're going to pay for your ticket and we're going to pay for your popcorn and for your Coca-Cola. So my question is this trip to the movie with your parents going to be free for you? Remember, you're not paying anything out of your pocket. Your parents are actually paying for you. So, and the answer is going to be no. This trip to the movie is not going to be free for you. Why? Because you need to take into consideration the value of your time. What is this opportunity cost? Once again, instead of going to the movie, you probably could have gone to work and make this $11 an hour, okay? And this is and you could have earned this money, but because you didn't go to work, you went to the movie, even though your parents actually paid for you. So this $11 an hour that you're actually making is going to be your opportunity cost going to movie. So the next principle is going to be that rational people think at the margin. So pretty much this principle is saying that if you're a rational decision maker, you all the time going to compare the cost and the benefit of your action. Okay, and usually the rational decision makers, if the cost is actually going to be less than the benefit of your decision, then you're going to go ahead and pursue your decision. But if the cost is actually going to be higher than the benefit that you're going to receive by making this decision, then usually if you're a rational decision maker, you're going to say, no, I'm not going to actually to pursue this action. I'm going to have to do something different. So when you're a rational decision maker, you usually make small incremental adjustment to your existing plan. So what does it mean? Let's suppose we're going to have a spring semester, or let's suppose it's a fall semester. And your parents your friends for a fall break, they're actually going to a 3-day trip to the mountains, and you really want to go with them. So, but in order for you to go, you need to have some money. You need to make more money. If you're a rational decision maker, you're not going to just go ahead and drop out from college and stop going to all of your classes in order to get a job to pay for your fall break, with your friends. If you're a rational decision maker, you're going to make a small incremental adjustments to your existing plan. What are you going to do? You're going to go to your boss and you're going to say, hey, can I actually work 5 extra hours a week? And by working these 5 extra hours a week, you're actually earning extra money in order to go with your friends for a fall break to the mountains. Okay, you see that you actually handle school and you handle your extra hours at work very well. Okay, then maybe in a couple of weeks from now, you're going to say, well, you know what, I'm going to actually ask my boss to work another 5 extra hours a week. So if you're a rational decision maker, once again, you're not just purely drop out from college in order to start working 60 hours a week to pay for your trip to the mountains with your friends. Okay, you just make a small incremental adjustments to your existing plan. Okay, and this is what rational decision makers actually do. So these are the other examples of when rational people making decision at the margin. So let's suppose if you're a manager and you decided to increase output, let's suppose you have a small company and you're producing t-shirts, and you decided that I want to produce actually 100 more t-shirts a week. So if you're a rational decision maker, you're going to compare the cost and the benefit. In order for you to produce extra 100 t-shirts a week, you probably need to hire more people. You might need to buy, extra sewing machine and stuff like that. So what you need to do, you need to calculate the cost, okay, of your action and the benefit of your action. If hiring another person and if purchasing another sewing machine is actually going to have a relatively small cost to compare with the benefit of selling extra 100 t-shirts a week, then as a rational decision maker, you're going to go ahead and pursue that decision. But if the cost is actually going to be much higher than the benefit that you're going to receive from producing extra t-shirts, then you actually do not have to pursue this decision. You need to reconsider that and choose a different plan of action.